And then you posted this and my jaw dropped. No different than you being 2 doors down from me, effing my...
What if I told you this wasn't just another messy reality TV rumor, but a carefully engineered storm designed to destroy reputations in plain sight? Because what started as a simple online clash between Kay, Michelle, and Porsha Williams has now spiraled into something way darker, something insiders are calling a calculated smear campaign hiding in plain sight. At first, everything looked normal. A public apology, a peaceful resolution, and fans thinking the beef was finally over. But behind that so-called peace, something didn't add up. The energy felt off. The reactions felt scripted. And the timing? Way too perfect to ignore. And then it happened. Out of nowhere, a shocking pregnancy allegation involving Porsha's ex suddenly exploded across the internet. But here's where things take a twisted turn, because according to deep industry chatter, this rumor didn't just appear randomly. It allegedly pulled in a hidden connection, linking back to Kay, Michelle's past relationship drama that no one expected to resurface. Now ask yourself this: coincidence or coordinated chaos? Because the moment that detail hit the blogs, everything changed. Old tensions resurfaced. Deleted history started circulating again. And what looked like random internet noise suddenly felt like a targeted attack designed to shift public perception in real time. And the biggest question is this: was this just messy fan speculation that spiraled out of control, or a perfectly timed setup where every post, every rumor, and every reaction was part of a much bigger game? Because if even half of these claims are true, then this isn't just drama anymore. This is a full-scale reputation war happening right in front of the world. And the truth? It might be way messier than anyone is ready for. Because once that pregnancy allegation started spreading, the internet didn't just react, it erupted. At first, it looked like typical celebrity gossip, something that would trend for a few hours and disappear by the next morning. But this time, the reaction was different. The timeline didn't slow down, it multiplied. Every blog, every gossip page, every fan account started pushing the same narrative from different angles. And suddenly, what looked like random speculation started forming a pattern. A pattern that raised one uncomfortable question: who benefits from this chaos? Because according to deep industry chatter, this wasn't just about Porsha Williams or Kay, Michelle anymore. It was about timing. It was about pressure. And most importantly, it was about control. Insiders claim that right after the public apology moment between the two, things behind the scenes were anything but peaceful. On camera, everything looked settled. But off camera? Completely different story. Small moments started leaking. Subtle shade. Changed energy. Deleted comments. Reposted clips. Nothing loud, but enough to make people start paying attention. And that's where things get interesting. Because when the pregnancy rumor hit the internet, it didn't come alone. It came with receipts from the past. Old interviews. Archived tweets. Clips that had been buried for years suddenly resurfacing like they were waiting for the right moment. And right there, the internet did what it always does best. It started connecting dots that may or may not actually be connected. But the problem is, once the narrative forms online, it doesn't matter what's true anymore. It only matters what spreads faster. And this one spread fast. Now here's where Kay, Michelle gets pulled deeper into the storm. According to unverified but widely circulated insider talk, the moment Porsha's ex became part of the conversation, people immediately started dragging Kay, Michelle's past relationships, back into the spotlight. Not because they were directly involved, but because fans were searching for links. Any link, any connection, anything that would make the story feel bigger than it already was. And that's where the narrative started mutating. Because now, it wasn't just about a rumor, it was about history. And history is dangerous in entertainment because it never stays buried. What looked like a simple allegation suddenly became a layered storyline involving past conflicts, unresolved tension, and what some online commentators started calling manufactured drama cycles. But let's be clear, nothing here is officially confirmed. This entire situation is built on claims, reactions, and interpretations. Yet somehow, that's exactly what makes it explode even more. Because in the world of viral media, perception is reality. And right now, the perception is chaos. Fans started breaking everything down. Old interviews were being replayed frame by frame. Reality TV scenes were being reanalyzed like courtroom evidence. Even harmless comments were suddenly being interpreted as hidden messages. And once that happens, the situation stops being entertaining. Now, according to sources close to the online discourse, what made this even messier was the sudden shift in tone from both sides. One moment, things looked resolved. The next moment, subtle distance started showing up again. No direct statements. No clear accusations. Just silence mixed with just enough tension to keep people guessing. And that silence? It spoke louder than any interview ever could. Because the internet doesn't trust silence. It fills it. And it filled this one with theories. One of the biggest theories circulating is that the apology moment between Kay, Michelle, and Porsha was never as clean as it appeared. Some believe it was PR controlled. Others think it was strategic damage control meant to reset public perception. But what's fueling the fire is what happened right after. Because almost immediately after that peaceful moment, the pregnancy rumor exploded. Too fast, too loud, too perfectly timed, at least according to online detectives. And now, everything is being re-examined through that lens. Was the apology real? Or was it just the calm before another storm? Was the rumor organic? Or was it amplified intentionally by people waiting for the right moment to strike? And most importantly, who leaked what and why now? As these questions circulate, the tension between fan bases is getting worse. Social media comment sections are turning into battlegrounds. Every post is being dissected. Every reaction is being judged. Every silence is being analyzed like evidence. And in the middle of all this noise, Kay, Michelle's name keeps getting pulled deeper into conversations she hasn't directly confirmed or denied in this context, which only makes the speculation louder. Because once your name enters a viral storyline like this, you don't control how it evolves anymore. The internet does. And right now, the internet is in full detective mode. But here's the twist that nobody is really talking about yet. Even if half of these claims are exaggerated, distorted, or completely false, the damage is already happening in real time. Public perception is shifting. Narratives are being rewritten. And reputations are being shaped by conversations that no one fully controls. That's the real danger of situations like this. Not the rumor itself, but the speed at which it becomes truth in the public eye. And as more clips surface, more theories emerge, and more old history gets dragged into the present, one thing becomes clear. This situation is no longer about what actually happened. It's about what people believe happened. And that's where things can get irreversible. Because once belief takes over facts, there's no going back. And according to insiders tracking this entire wave of chaos, this is only the beginning. The next wave of revelations, responses, and reactions is already building behind the scenes. And when it hits, everything changes again. Because the moment public belief overtakes verified facts, the entire situation enters a completely different phase, one where truth doesn't matter as much as momentum. And right now, this story has momentum. According to ongoing online discourse and unverified insider commentary, what started as a single pregnancy allegation has now evolved into a multi-layer narrative involving old tensions, resurfaced history, and shifting alliances that fans are trying to decode in real time. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Because as the internet kept digging, the tone of the entire situation started changing again. What was once framed as simple drama between two personalities suddenly started being viewed as something deeper, almost strategic. Some fans began pointing out what they believed were two coordinated coincidences. Others dismissed it completely as algorithm-driven chaos amplified by engagement culture. But regardless of which side people took, one thing became obvious. Nobody was looking at this as a simple rumor anymore. It had turned into a full narrative war. And in the middle of that storm, Michelle's name kept resurfacing, not through direct statements, but through association threads built by online speculation. Fans started pulling clips from years ago, connecting past interviews, and revisiting old reality TV moments as if they were missing pieces of a larger puzzle. But the problem with puzzles like this is simple. Not all the pieces actually belong together. Still, once the internet starts building a storyline, it doesn't pause to fact-check every connection. It builds first and verifies later, if at all. And that's exactly what happened here. Because the more people searched, the more connections they found. And the more connections they found, the stronger the narrative became, even without... At the same time, both Porsha Williams and K. Michelle were being pulled into separate waves of interpretation. Every reaction, every silence, every repost, every lack of response was being analyzed like it carried hidden meaning. And that's where things started getting psychologically intense. Because in situations like this, silence doesn't protect you, it amplifies suspicion. And commentary pages started running wild with theories. Was someone being targeted? Was this damage control gone wrong? Or was this just the natural collapse of old, unresolved tension finally resurfacing at the worst possible time? According to online chatter, what made this situation spiral even further was the timing of new viral posts. Just as the pregnancy allegation gained traction again, old content suddenly began resurfacing across platforms, sometimes from random accounts, sometimes from pages with no clear origin. And that's where people started asking the uncomfortable question, why now? Because in digital culture, timing is everything. And when multiple storylines collide at the exact same moment, audiences naturally start assuming coordination, even when none exists. Meanwhile, fan communities began splitting into different camps. One group believed everything was being blown out of proportion by internet amplification. Another group believed there was too much smoke for no fire. And a third group, the most active online, began dissecting every detail like investigative journalists. This is where the situation fully transitioned from gossip to digital trial. Every clip became evidence. Every quote became testimony. Every silence became suspicion. And the most dangerous part? The narrative stopped needing new information to grow. It started feeding on itself. Because once a storyline reaches this stage, even unrelated content gets absorbed into it. A random interview from years ago suddenly gets reinterpreted. A casual comment gets reframed. A deleted post becomes proof of something deeper. And that's how misinformation ecosystems sustain themselves. Not through lies alone, but through interpretation overload. Now, according to online analysts and commentary circles, this entire situation also highlights something bigger happening in celebrity culture right now, the collapse of controlled narratives. In the past, celebrities could manage stories through PR statements, interviews, and controlled messaging. But today, every moment is instantly captured, clipped, reposted, and reinterpreted by millions of users with no central control. And that means one thing: once a narrative starts, you don't own it anymore. It belongs to the internet. And in this case, the internet has already decided this story is far bigger than the original claims. Because now it's not just about Porsha Williams. It's not just about K. Michelle. It's about perceived betrayal, resurfaced history, and the idea that nothing in entertainment truly stays buried forever. And that belief alone is enough to keep the cycle going. As this continues unfolding, more clips keep resurfacing. More theories keep forming, and more audiences keep joining the conversation without context, only exposure to fragments of the story. And fragments are dangerous, because fragments can be shaped into anything. A narrative, a conspiracy, a scandal, a misunderstanding, or all of the above at the same time. Meanwhile, insiders and commentators alike are pointing out that neither side seems fully in control of how the story is being interpreted anymore. Even attempts at clarification, whether real or assumed, get absorbed into the larger chaos and rebranded as part of the drama itself. And that's the final stage of viral escalation. When clarification doesn't end confusion, it increases it. So now the situation sits in a very unstable space. No confirmed resolution. No universally accepted truth. Just competing narratives fighting for dominance in real time. And as long as that continues, the algorithm keeps pushing it forward. More views, more speculation, more engagement, more reinterpretation. Until eventually, the story becomes less about what happened and more about what people want to believe happened. And according to ongoing online discussion, that's exactly where we are right now. At a point where truth and narrative are no longer separate things. They've merged into one constantly evolving conversation that refuses to die down. And if the next wave of reactions, leaks, or resurfaced clips drops into this environment, this entire situation could escalate again overnight. Because in internet culture like this, the story never really ends. It only reloads. Because once a story reaches this level of digital chaos, the ending is never really an ending. It's just a temporary pause before the next wave hits. And at this point, the situation surrounding Kay, Michelle, and Porsha Williams has fully entered that space. No clear confirmation. No final receipts that settle everything. Just layers of interpretation stacked on top of each other until the original truth, whatever it was, becomes almost unrecognizable. According to the ongoing online narrative, the pregnancy allegation that sparked all of this has now transformed into something much bigger than itself. It's no longer just a rumor being debated in comment sections. It's now a symbol of trust issues, of old tensions resurfacing, and of how quickly entertainment stories can spiral into uncontrollable public trials. But what makes this situation even more intense is what happened after the peak of the controversy. Because instead of slowing down, the conversation mutated again. Old clips resurfaced in waves. Fan pages started reposting past interviews with completely new interpretations. And casual comments from years ago suddenly became key evidence in a storyline that neither party explicitly confirmed. And that's when the internet did what it always does when a story refuses to die. It started rewriting the timeline. Now, according to commentary circles and unverified insider discussions, what made this situation especially volatile was not just the rumor itself, but the emotional reaction it triggered across different fan bases. Because once people choose a side, they don't just defend it, they build narratives around it. And those narratives rarely stay grounded in facts. They become emotional ecosystems. In one version of the story, Porsha Williams is being unfairly targeted by recycled drama. In another version, Michelle is being dragged into a situation she never directly confirmed. And in yet another version, the entire situation is being framed as a coordinated entertainment cycle designed to keep attention focused through controversy. All three narratives are circulating at the same time, and none of them fully cancel the others out. That's the chaos of modern digital storytelling. Because truth is no longer a single line, it's a battlefield of interpretations. Meanwhile, both names continue to trend in cycles. Not because of new developments, but because of resurfacing content being reanalyzed by new audiences discovering the situation for the first time. And this is where things become self-sustaining. The more people discover it, the more it gets reposted. The more it gets reposted, the more it trends. And the more it trends, the more people assume something new must be happening even when nothing new exists. That loop is what keeps this kind of drama alive far beyond its original moment. Now, according to online discourse, one of the most discussed angles is the idea that this entire situation reflects a larger issue in entertainment culture, the lack of separation between real life and narrative performance. Because reality TV especially blurs those lines. What is authentic emotion? What is edited storytelling? What is reaction versus production? And in cases like this, audiences often struggle to separate them. So instead, they merge everything into one continuous storyline. And once that happens, individuals stop being seen as people and start being seen as characters in an ongoing narrative. That shift is powerful and dangerous. Because characters can be judged endlessly. People eventually cannot. But the internet rarely makes that distinction. Now, as this specific situation continues to circulate, commentary pages have begun pointing out something important. There is no official resolution that fully satisfies the public anymore. No apology, no statement, no clarification would realistically be enough to undo the narrative momentum already built. Because at this stage, the story has evolved beyond the control of the people involved. It now belongs to collective interpretation. And collective interpretation does not resolve, it expands. Every new viewer brings a new theory. Every new clip adds a new angle. Every new comment section revives old arguments that were thought to be settled. And so the cycle continues. Even attempts at moving on are often pulled back in by resurfaced content. A single clip can reignite an entire discussion thread. A random repost can restart a wave of speculation. And that's the reality of viral controversy in the modern era. Nothing ever fully disappears. And now it has become a case study in how digital ecosystems manufacture meaning from fragments. Because even without confirmation, without proof, and without resolution, the stories still manage to achieve massive reach, emotional engagement, and long-term discussion cycles. That alone shows how powerful narrative momentum has become in the internet age. And as long as audiences continue engaging with fragmented information, the cycle will continue repeating itself across different names, different stories, and different platforms. Now as for Kay, Michelle, and Porsha Williams, the online conversation remains divided, unresolved, and constantly evolving. Some believe the situation is being exaggerated by internet amplification. Others believe there are deeper tensions that were never publicly addressed. And many believe the truth lies somewhere in the middle, lost beneath layers of commentary, interpretation, and recycled content. But regardless of which perspective someone chooses, one thing is undeniable. This situation has already outgrown its origin. It is no longer about a single allegation. It is no longer about a single reaction. It is now about how the internet constructs reality itself. And in that system, once a story gains momentum like this, it doesn't truly end. It just waits for the next spark, the next clip, the next repost, the next interpretation. And when that happens, the cycle starts all over again. So the real question isn't what actually happened. The real question is, how long can a story survive when the internet refuses to let it die?